That would be me.
Look who we're hanging with.
Jason David Frank.
Boom shakalaka.
Please do not change channel.
Hello, World Wide Web. Welcome back to the Hangin' With Web Show. I'm GW Pomichter. Thank you so much for logging on and tuning in. We're going to ask one more thing from you, though. Go down and hit subscribe. Come back over and over again. We've got authors, artists, singers, songwriters, musicians, actors, creative minds of all kinds here on the Hangin' With Web Show. We want you to check them all out, so come on back for more. We are here at Pound the Grape in the Melbourne Square Mall, and we are hanging with singer, songwriter, author, director, all of those people that I just mentioned before. In one person, Bianca, Desmore, Mitchell. Bianca, thank you very much for hanging with us today.
Thanks for having me.
Bianca, your company is IMOR Productions.
Correct.
Okay. Let's talk about all of those creative things that you do.
Oh boy.
Just wow.
Yeah, you know, I mean, you don't have just one car that you like, and one's a standard and one's an automatic, and you can drive both. You don't just drive automatic.
Well, yeah.
Okay, so.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah, it's like having one topping on a pizza. What's the point of that?
There's no point in that.
There's no point in that.
No, absolutely.
All right, so I'll tell you what, let's start with IMOR Productions.
Okay.
Tell us about the company.
All right, so IMOR Productions is a production company, full service.
Okay.
And we basically specialize on short film productions and music video productions.
Awesome.
So yeah, that's what that is. And originally, IMOR was actually a label.
Okay.
Because I've come from the musical background. I've written over about 165 songs.
Wow.
And one day, I decided that I need somebody to sing these songs, because I don't like to sing. I like to sing in the shower, don't get me wrong. And if I absolutely have to, I sing my own stuff, but I don't like to. So I thought, you know, there are other artists out there who would love to have an opportunity to sing. They might not have the material or the money to do a demo, so I was like, hey, guess what? We'll just I give you my song, you sing it, I'll pay for the demo, and it's a win-win.
Everybody wins, that's right.
Yeah, so that's how it started out. And after I did my first music video, I fell in love with filming. And I was like, oh my gosh, I need to do this. And I went back to Full Sail University, got my bachelor's degree in entertainment business, and started learning all the ins and outs about music and film.
Fantastic.
And so that's how IMOR got started.
That is awesome. It really, that's a great creative story. Again, creative minds, creative thinkers. Again, it's not one thing. That's like one topping on a pizza. It's you got to have more.
Yeah.
And so you know, writers and singers and musicians, and they're always doing other things.
Correct.
And so, what about filmmaking? What was it about filmmaking that just drew you in? The first time you did your first video, and all of a sudden you were just like, yeah, this is cool.
The challenge about it.
Yeah.
Because, you know, somebody comes up to you and says, hey, B, I have this idea.
Okay.
This is what I want. Can you make it happen? Well, I don't know. Can I make it happen? You know, you start thinking about the storyline. You start thinking of the things. And if you're a creative, and I don't know about you guys, but if you're a creative, you see pictures in your head all the time.
Oh, yeah.
All the time.
Yeah.
And if somebody tells you a story...
You have to go into a creative arts profession if that happens, because otherwise they lock you up.
Yes.
You start telling people all the pictures in your mind, and they're like, okay, yeah,
Exactly.
So you go into the creative arts.
That's exactly right.
We don't judge because we have the same pictures.
Correct.
That's right.
So
yeah, that's awesome.
That's how it started.
How long have you been a creative artist? How long have you been writing songs, and how long have you been expressing yourself creatively?
So creatively, writing songs I've done since I was 12 years old. I was born and raised in Germany, so my English was non-existent. But you know, you heard Madonna and these pop songs, and you kind of just lip-synced to everything that was there, and you didn't really know what you were saying because you didn't speak the language. And so I decided I want to write in...
On behalf of most of the generation listening to that music in the 80s, we didn't always know what we were singing either, even though we speak the language.
Okay, that helps. That
it's
really
true.
helps.
It really is. It is, because I'll tell you, I used to know a young lady who There's the song Ballerina Girl from the 80s.
Oh, yeah.
For 2 years, I knew this young lady, and she loved to sing that song every time it came out on the radio. And one day it was on, but it was low enough so I could hear what she was singing. I don't even know what those words were. They had nothing to do with what was coming out of the radio.
Yeah.
She was just, the mouth was making the same formation.
Yes.
And if she was lip syncing, you'd have thought she was singing the song. But now that I could hear her, I was like, wait a minute, that's not that song.
Yeah.
And she said, oh, yes, it is. And I'm like, no, really, it's not.
Well, yeah, so that's what we did.
That's what you did in
That's
Germany.
what we
You
did,
just did
yeah.
it. Yeah.
And one day I was like, I want to write an English song. And my friend Bianca and I was like, let's do it. So we literally took one of those translating, and we had books back then in the days, guys. There was no iPad and cell phones. There was
Google
no going
Translate.
Yeah,
Yeah,
none
no.
of that. So I got a book, you know, German English translation, and we actually that's how we wrote our first song. And
Wow.
yeah, it kind of stuck with me. So
That's awesome.
And then when I got to America, I started learning the piano, how to play the piano, and the guitar I taught myself. And one night I had a dream about a song. I woke up, and again, my English was really, really wobbly, but that song was perfect. And so I went on the piano, and within 4 weeks I had my first song.
That
And
is
that's how
awesome.
that happened.
Being an artist is neither a plan or an accident.
No.
It's who you are.
Yeah.
And when it comes out, when it manifests in a dream or wherever, when it comes out, you can't help but express it somehow.
Exactly.
So, what are you currently working on? What projects you got going on right now?
I got a bunch of projects going on.
Bunch of different things.
Okay, so The Sound of Red is a short film we just filmed.
Okay.
It's a movie about depression, and I know we have a lot of movies out about depression right now, but it's mostly from the standpoint of view of the depressed person.
Wow.
This one is actually about the friend of the depressed person who doesn't believe in depression. So you have a friend who is depressed, and then the best friend who doesn't believe in depression, and she keeps trying to tell her, it's in your head, just stop it. So there's no support from her best friend, and that's how she has to deal with it, and that's what this one's about.
That's a really interesting perspective to take. A lot of people, we do look at things like depression and mental illness, and we do try to be as sympathetic or empathetic as possible.
Correct.
See it from the perspective of the person afflicted.
Correct.
But there's so much collateral
Yeah.
in the way that you live your life and deal with other people.
Correct.
That's an interesting perspective to take.
Yeah.
What made you think to do that?
I was that person who didn't believe in mental illness. I was that person to sit there and judge and be like, oh, shut up, it's just in your head.
Well, first of all, it is in your head,
It is.
but it is also real.
It is, but
That's right.
that's
It's
the
like
thing.
Dumbledore said.
Yeah.
Because it's in your head doesn't mean it's not real.
This is exactly right.
Yeah.
But the thing is, you know, when you're that judgmental, it's not a good thing. So one day, again, things come to me in a dream, talking to you, man, gosh, that's like always in my dream. But I had a dream that I was depressed.
All right, we're going to pretend she said that. We're going to run that clip over and over again. Talking to me is like being in a dream.
Oh, God.
We're just going to run that clip over and over again until more and more people want to sit on the stage, on the show. Yeah, I mean, you know what?
It did. It happened. I was dreaming, and in my dream, I was so depressed. And what happened is that I couldn't control it, and it was literally eating me from the inside out, and I had no control over it. I mean, the pictures were real, the voices were real. I was a nutcase. So when I woke up, I was like, holy crap.
Irony. She was the nutcase.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
I woke up and I was like, I started crying because I was like, I'm so sorry for all those people I judged all these years. I am so sorry. And I wrote the script to The Sound of Red because I want people to understand it. Just because you don't understand it, don't judge anybody. You know.
Love that. That is amazing. As a creator, especially in a filmmaker, looking at making films, there's so much more when you're writing. When you're writing a song or whatever, that's a solitary process. It's all you, it's in your head, it's right there on the page.
Correct.
When you are creating a film project, there are locations, cast. It's an exercise in problem solving.
Yes.
All day long. What are things that you look for in particular? Are there qualities you look for in cast members or in crew to work with? What are some things that you look for as a producer when you're doing a film project?
Honestly, I look for chemistry.
Okay.
I have learned that just because somebody is good at their craft doesn't mean that they necessarily work well with them. And I think that any project that I work on, when I work with people that I have chemistry with, the best products come out of it, even if it sometimes doesn't come out the way I planned originally, because when does that ever happen?
Not ever.
Thank you.
Not ever.
So
we're doing 12 minutes and it won't be anything like I planned it.
See what I'm saying?
See?
Yeah, but that's the point. So it's more important, and I tell my, I coach actresses and singers, and I tell them all the time, look for chemistry. Whoever you work with, create that. You can actually build chemistry. It's not like,
It is. Projects in entertainment are shorter term than people's lives and their day jobs, as
Correct.
it were. Because of that, sometimes we forget that a large part of being good at your job is those connections and relationships you
Correct.
make with your coworkers, and on a short-term project, that has to happen as instantaneously as possible.
Right.
So that when you're working together, you have the same dynamic that people have when they're sharing an office space for 20 years.
Exactly.
Only you've got 20 minutes to get there because we have to
Yeah.
shoot now.
and you actually find that kind of chemistry with people who are passionate about what they're doing. So these are the two things I look for. People who are passionate about what they're doing and they love what they do, and then building that chemistry. So
That
you
is fantastic. You have The Sound of Red coming up. What is slated? What's in the pipeline slated for after that?
Okay, so we have The Sound of Red coming up January 1st.
Okay.
January 15th is my book release for What's Next for Musicians. And after that, it's going to be February. I have What's Next for Actors and Actresses. And that's my book release.
Fantastic. What made you want to write it all down?
Okay, remember when I told you how IMOR production started?
Yeah.
So I learned everything the hard way. Okay.
Amen,
I
sister.
went online and researched this, and then I went and got me a mentor and a coach, and I paid for all of them. And thousands of dollars later, I still wasn't any smarter, and I still wasn't anywhere where I needed to be. So I wanted to turn that around.
That's my whole career. So
yeah.
There's that. I'm going to hang my head in shame now while she plugs her book. Plug the book.
So yeah, I mean, I wanted to change that. I wanted to make it a game changer. And I was like, there's no need for somebody to start out with what they wanted to do and lose themselves in all this vast information that a lot of it is false. If you want to be an actress, you need to know this to start and this to start and then go. You don't need...
Learn as you...
Yeah, learn as you go.
No one's perfect
That's
at what
correct.
they do.
Yeah.
The longer you do it, the better you'll get. All right, well, we're going to put links down below so you can find those books and you can find all of the film projects that are coming out from IMOR Productions up the road. We're going to drop links down below. As we sign off, we want to say thanks to our partners and our friends at the Brevard Renaissance Fair. We're going to be out there January 2019, February 2019. Josh Bauer at jbart.com. Pound the Grape right here in the Melbourne Square Mall. Yvonne Mason over at Off the Chain Radio. Famous Faces and Funny. Space Coast Comics. Something Unique Magazine. These are the folks that are sharing these videos all over the World Wide Web. We hope you will be one of them. Share this video. Share an artist. Share a creator with all your friends and family because these are some amazing creative artists. Remember, everybody, subscribe right now. You. Subscribe. Log on. Tune in. And see who we're hanging with next. Wow.